guys, it's Rob, and welcome to the Dodger Downlow.
And now it's time for Dodger baseball.
Holy shit, Mookie Betts is a Dodger. Earlier this week I did an episode where I talked about Arenado possibly being a better alternative to cashing in on top prospects for a one-year superstar rental. You know, as great of a superstar as Mookie Betts is, I just thought it might have been a good idea to cash in prospects on, somebody a little bit more controllable instead of a one-year rental superstar. But I was also under the assumption that the new GM of Boston knew he was one of the Red Sox instead of the Tampa Bay Rays. So it ended up being a three-team trade between the Dodgers, the Red Sox, and the Twins. We sent Maeda to the Twins, that we flipped the top 100 prospects that we got from them to the Red Sox with Verdugo to land Mookie Betts, David Price, and cash. On a side note, when did Maeda's value or trade value become a top 100 prospect? Now, we should have done that a long time ago. This allowed us to keep our entire farm system, top 100 prospects. None of them were touched. We also got the Boston Red Sox somehow, some Jedi mind trick, to be able to get them to pay half of David Price's contract. So we basically got another, Rich Hill, 3-year, $48 million contract that he signed is basically the value of what we got David Price for. A former Cy Young, dominated the AL for years, and now he's able to come over to the NL where he hasn't pitched before, really. And pretty much the unfamiliarity with the whole entire league is going to be a huge advantage for him coming over. I mean, we already know what we get in Mookie Betts. He's a former MVP in 2018, had one of the greatest seasons of any Red Sox in history. So we already know what we're getting with him. Going to bat top of the lineup, lead off every single game for us. Do not bat him second. The Red Sox learned that last year. He had a down beginning to the year because they tried batting him second instead of having him lead off. We finally have a true leadoff hitter being able to set the table for us, coming up with our power hitters behind him, our power, patient, grinder hitters coming up in the lineup, be able to drive in runs. We're adding a huge superstar player, another MVP, onto a team that already had an MVP from 2019. Price, on the other hand, he had a down year. It was a little bit of an injury-riddled season. He only pitched 107 innings, but there was some good news in those 107 innings. He had 128 strikeouts over 107 innings, so not bad there. Over one strikeout per inning, which is always a plus. His fastball is dipping a little bit, but that's something we're coming over to the Dodgers. The Dodgers system is where they go to revamp pitchers. The coaching staff, the trainers, the pitching analytics departments, they bring out the best in all the pitchers that come over to the Dodgers. So anytime we bring somebody fresh or somebody from the outside that might have had a down year, they come over to the Dodgers, they have a great year with us, and we just look like wizards. So, I mean, it's going to be a huge deal, I think, having David Price coming over. On top of that, his ERA plus was 113. Now, ERA plus, if you guys don't know, is they adjust this metric for pitchers that they grade for ballparks that they pitches. So, for example, David Price pitches in, Fenway Park majority of his, season. So that's a smaller park, a little bit more friendly for batters. So for him, he gets a little bit more of a passing grade because he's pitching in a smaller ballpark, more designed for batters. So he's at 113 ERA plus, where 100 is average. So he's still graded as above average in that metric. On top of that, his FIP was a 3.62. Now, FIP is fielding independent metric, which basically measures, what a pitcher is directly responsible or in control of. Strikeouts, home runs, walks, things like that. So he had a 3.62, FIP, which is, very respectable, very, mid-range, middle of the road. So I think that he's going to come over to the Dodgers. He's going to work with our department, our analytics department, our pitching department, and be able to really get a take on his fastball back, work with our drive line guys to help him out. And like I said, we're going to be able to get the best out of him because we always seem to find a way to do that. So, on a side note, Jock was also traded to the Angels. There's more to come on that. It sounds like there's more details where it's going to be actually a bigger trade than just the initial announcement. So, stay tuned for my next episode on that. But what that also presents with Jock and Verdugo now gone, that presents huge opportunity because you have Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger running the outfield, in 2 of the 3 spots. So in left field, you got Pollock, you got Chris Taylor, you got Beatty, but you also got an under-the-radar guy, which depending on how his spring training goes, we might see him get called up, DJ Peters. DJ Peters is an outfield prospect, a sit guy, comparable frame to like a Giancarlo Stanton or a Aaron Judge, but he's been on the rise. He had about a 250 average or so last year. He's hit about 20-plus home runs the past couple seasons. But he's somebody that might get a shot. He might get a call up at some point this year, with the opportunity that presents itself now that we've dealt some of our depth with Jock and Verdugo gone. That's a huge opportunity in left field for either Pollock to come out and, outright take it, or, really somebody else to really step up and take that spot. So what do you think about the trade, guys? Like I said, I like it. At this point, we pretty much robbed the Red Sox. The whole league knows it. The Dodgers know it. To be able to get Mookie Betts, a player of his caliber, even for just 1 year, with a controllable starter like David Price, where they're paying half of his contract, so he's making only $16 million a year for the next 3 years. You have a year to impress Mookie Betts. If he ultimately signs elsewhere, you get somebody else's draft pick. But honestly, I think at this point, we're going to end up extending him and do whatever it takes to extend him to a big, huge deal that he deserves. So if you like this trade, do me a favor. Give me a like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it, man. Share my video with any Dodger friends you have. I'm trying to grow this channel. At the beginning of spring training, I'm going to start doing daily game recaps, talking about, the game each day. Like I said, I watch every single game a year, so being able to provide nightly recaps, basically it'll come out in the following morning of every game going on. So like I said, I'm ultimately trying to grow this channel. So like I said, share it, spread the news, let everybody know what's going on the down low. And until next time, guys, see you on the Dodger Down Low.